Welcome back to Old Iron Machine Works. I know it's been a while since I've been able to do a video. Um, this video will be more another little random video. Finally getting the Cincinnati Shaper home, but I've been kind of under the weather for the last few weeks, so just haven't really felt like doing a whole lot by the time I get home from work. But like I say, this is I've kept the Shaper at my place where I work, and here I'll just be loading it up and bringing it home. In this little clip, I'll be bringing home one of the Case forklifts. This is the local tractor dealership in Rio Vista. I actually worked there I started when I was 21 years old. I started there in 1981 and worked there till 2001, 20 years there. In fact, that's my last service truck. That was in 96, I believe it was. And there'll be a little clip there. When I first got that truck, it didn't have a boom on it, and we didn't have the money to buy one, so I built that crane on the back of it out of tractor parts. Needed to have a crane on it. And there's the current service truck where I work now. But the dealership's been there since 1948. They've always been very close friends of the family, and still very close with the owners. It's fourth generation right now. And there's the Rio Vista Bridge. Here we're going to be coming up on the right hand side, right there. That's what actually brought us to Rio Vista. My dad was hired for a shop foreman in 1964 for a company called Black Welders, and there used to be a Black Welder Manufacturing and Black Welders Iron Works. That was the location of the Iron Works where my dad was the foreman of, which the building's been long gone. But I'd ride my bike home from after school, and I was always able to go hang out at the shop, and very, very cool. This next building was also owned by Black Welders, and right out of high school, my dad allowed me that front section, to keep. I had a 69 Mach 1 and TD jet boat and a fishing boat. I was able to keep it in there. Here's just a little clip of the Rio Vista Bridge again. Pretty much I was 4 years old when we moved to Rio Vista, and so anything to do with the water, skiing, fishing, duck hunting, whatever it may be, pretty much lived on the water. And looking back, it was a very, very cool place to be able to raise for me to grow up on and raise a family. Here I'm just loading the forklift to my house to lift the Shaper off the truck, and it's probably definitely less than a 10-minute trip just driving the forklift home. Here I'm weighing the shaper as I take it off, and for whatever reason I was kind of expecting the shaper to weigh more than that. I have no doubt that my scale's accurate. I think it was, whatever it was, 50, it's coming up here, I think it was like maybe 5,300. Let's see, well, yeah, 5,300 basically. Just kind of thought it would weigh a little more. Here I just decided to use pipe. I got a little toe jack I made. So just decided to just roll it on the pipe rather than getting the equipment movers. I have a set of the dollies, but sometimes pipe actually works pretty good. And here I just made a little area in the corner. I had to shove some stuff, move some stuff around, but that was about the only place in the shop that the shaper was actually gonna fit in. But I think it'll work out just fine there. I know the shop's still a complete mess, and I'm hoping to be able to get it in order where I can start showing a little bit more videos and maybe even a shop tour someday. I did a video a while back. I think it was like Vintage Tool Rescue, I think is what I called it. But I just acquired truckloads of stuff, a lot of old rusted stuff, and this was kind of a very unique tap handle. I almost scrapped it. 1899 patent, Lightning 955. I can't quite make out the name of the company. Something Russell Manufacturing Company. But anyway, I even had to heat it up with the torch to get the pieces apart, so it was pretty bad. And basically just glass beaded it, put the rods in to keep these ceramic pieces from filling the holes and plugging all the holes up. Just kind of gave it a little buff, polish with a little dull finish, and it came out fine, and it'll be a good little user tap handle. I was glad I was able to kind of get it back to serviceable. I could spend time polishing and buffing and stuff, but it cleaned up real nice, real happy with it, and it'll probably come in handy. This is just some other stuff that I had in the that little vibrator polisher with the ceramic pieces. These are, I believe those are 3306 cat piston wrist pin bushings that get swapped out, and you can see the finish on them once you put them in there and let them polish. Same thing with this roll. that rule was pretty rusted up, and to salvage it, I just blast it and then throw it in there. It's not pretty shiny, but it kind of gives kind of a consistent finish to it. You know, I like the finish. That's a good old Pratt company. And the wrist pin bushings are real handy on the mills. You know, if I need standoffs or anything, they work great. Here's just another pile of some of the stuff that I do at work. I rebuild all the compressor valves at work, and then those are some Kimray valves. They're for our suction controllers, you know, for the compressors. Now everybody shows their different kind of rust preservative stuff. I won't use anything but this stuff. I absolutely love it. I've been probably using the product for 20 years, close to 20 years. It's not cheap. It's well over $100 for the tub, but it's a solvent base. For the valves, I need to coat the valves with a really thin material to keep the rust down, and it just works great. Here we have another Craigslist find. It was probably about a month ago. Somebody posted a shoebox full of bin mills, and he claimed that they were either new or like new. Generally, if somebody's got a box of bin mills, you know, unless they're saying they're brand new or something, don't need to buy a box of junk. But it was cheap enough, and it was only about 20 minutes away, and he said that they were very nice shape, which they were. Every one of them was pretty awesome shape. Well, when we worked the deal out on it, I asked if he had anything else, and he said he would set out stuff. When I got there, he pretty much had a pile of miscellaneous stuff that was his father's. His father passed away about 15 years ago, and asked if I was interested in anything, and I said, of course, I'm interested in all of it. We worked a deal on all of it, and brought it home. Rather than all this is spread out on the tailgate. I haven't had a chance to really go through all of it yet, but anyway, got it real cheap. Here we have a little footage at work. As you can see, we got compressors sitting all over the place, and we had a compressor coming back to the yard. The compressor that was coming back to the yard, I believe, was 47,000 pounds. You know, so let's just call it a 25-ton compressor. The crane that normally comes to the yard is anywhere from a 70-ton, probably 70 to 120-ton crane. This particular crane, the 70-ton crane, was down for whatever reason, and the only one they had in the yard is this crane, which is a 350-ton crane. Can you say overkill? We don't get the 350-ton crane in the yard much because we have no use for one that big. But you can see it. I think it's either has 6 or 7 sections that extend out. There you just see one extending out. When you get into the big cranes, you got to have the outriggers and pads and everything, even with nothing on it, because the amount of the boom, just swinging a boom with nothing on it. You know, the weight and forces are incredible. But anyway, I just thought, you know, I'd shoot a little video of it and throw it in my video. Now this is a little more video of the Rio Vista Bridge again. This was last week. Going home. When the bridge is open, in the past, if you look like straight on at that picture, 7/10 of a mile from the bridge on the other side of the river, I owned a 40-acre ranch for about 20 years, which I sold the ranch almost 10 years ago. So if we had a ship going by, then you're held up. I sold the ranch and bought back in town, so the bridge doesn't affect me. The pictures are really cool, you know, when the bridge is open, but what you don't see is the traffic jam. They open the bridge when you can't even hardly see the ship. So by the time the ship's finally going through, traffic in all directions is just backed up terrible, everybody getting impatient. But as far as just watching these pictures, it is very cool and very peaceful. I guess I should point out, the ships don't always go this slow. I don't know why they're going at this clip. There are times when they're going through that, you know, they will put a little wake behind them. But for whatever reason, they work kind of at a snail's pace. I guess another little piece of history of the Rio Vista Bridge is on the far end, past the far tower. I think it was, early mid-60s, on a very foggy morning, the ship missed the tower. He thought he was going between them, which he wasn't, and took out a section of the bridge. If he would have hit the tower, that would have been real bad news. I know back when I started my channel as Old Iron Machine Works, I was trying to figure out some kind of logo or something, and my daughter was like, well, how about an old iron? So I just picked up another old iron. I think that's what I'll use to base like stickers and stuff off of. Just kind of a play on words. Yes, I do love old iron and old equipment, but nothing compares to this right here. This is my grandson that was born right before Christmas, and he was named after my late father. And they're such a blessing. I have a 2-year-old granddaughter and now my grandson, and these are the true legacies that are left behind. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Until next time.